Hello everybody and welcome to Crit Roll Conspiracies, the show where we talk about all the wild theories that critters have about Campaign 3 of Critical Role. Spoiler warning, this video contains spoilers for episode 8 of Campaign 3 as well as some minor spoilers for other content that Critical Role has put out. Also, I want to let you know that I'm doing a giveaway this video of a digital copy of Call of the Netherdeep, the new Critical Role adventure book that's coming out next year, so stick around for details about that. Well, Matthew Mercer, you son of a gun, I can't believe that you would do this to us. We now have to wait 2 weeks to find out what happens to Fern. Oh, it was just such bad luck that she got caught at the end of the episode. What a cliffhanger. I can't wait to see what happens. At least she can talk to Imogen, I guess. How do you think this is gonna resolve itself? I don't really know how they're gonna get out of this without having a fight of some kind. Apart from that horrendous cliffhanger, we actually got so much juicy info this episode. So let's get into it. We learned a bit more about Dorian and his family. We finally get to properly meet his brother Cyrus, who it turns out is a sweet summer child. So we get confirmation that Dorian is indeed from a noble family. He is from the Silken Squall, which is a floating city made of tents, from what I understand. And his family are renowned oracles or seers. They have a long generation of oracles and are often consulted for their guidance. So Dorian is second in line to this inheritance, and his brother Cyrus is first. Dorian is very salty, is probably the right word. He's quite angry about Cyrus being here and very defensive. But after a while, we start to see those kind of walls melting down a little bit as we learn that Cyrus has a $20,000 gold coin bounty on his head as part of a job that he did escorting a caravan when everybody else on the escort actually ended up robbing it and stealing whatever it was going on. So there was a box with a golem in it. A golem? Okay, that's enough. A golem in it that kind of burst forth and stole a bunch of coins, maybe stole another treasure. It's a little bit unclear. But the initials on that box were JH. And then Imogen, well remembered Laura, Imogen brings up the fact that she recognized the initials JH from the letter that Ashton received a couple of episodes ago. But Ashton is a bit cagey. They don't really want to talk about it just yet. They said, let's see how things go after a day. Then we can talk about it then. So I am so curious to know who JH is. Give me your ideas in the comments below. Who do you think it could be? Cyrus explains that he has been working for the Corsairs and that they have been kind of helping him out with sort of staying away from this bounty. And I'll be honest, this is a quest hook that I did not expect. I really anticipated that Cyrus was going to come to Dorian with some kind of problem with their family and that Dorian was going to have to leave the party to go and solve whatever this problem is, because, you know, I've said it before, Robbie has been billed as a guest. He is in the intro, yes, but only for a short section, so I really think that he is not going to be a permanent member of the campaign. I am hoping he's going to drop in and out pretty regularly. So yeah, I was kind of expecting the arrival of Dorian's brother to signal the beginning of Dorian leaving the party, and I suppose that's still true, but it looks like maybe we're going to get a longer storyline with Robbie at the table, which I'm absolutely thrilled about. I want Robbie to stay as long as possible. It'll be really interesting to see if the party helps Cyrus with this problem, and if so, how? Will they try and raise the money to, you know, get the bounty off his head, or are they going to confront whoever put the bounty on head on? Are they going to investigate the caravan and the robbery there and see if they can kind of clear his name that way? Lots of interesting theories and ideas. There are so many dogs in my neighborhood barking right now. That is actually a perfect segue. Oh my goodness, because the next thing I want to talk about is so silly. So we've been talking over the last few weeks about sort of hints and clues about there being werewolves in this campaign. Potentially, you know, we were thinking maybe Travis would play a werewolf. And for some of you out there, that's still not off the table. Chetney could be a werewolf. Like, we don't know. But even if it has nothing to do with Travis, we cannot deny the werewolf things that are happening. So we learn that Chetney is looking for his friend Gurge, and when they go to Gurge's house, they find that there are claw marks on the furniture. Potentially could be a wolf. There's also blood spattered everywhere. Chetney remarks that Gurge is like a man of the wilds, that he lives out in the wild or he lives in the jungle. Kinda sounds like maybe he could be a werewolf. And then we learn about a direwolf attack, which is of course how we end up with Fern being caught by the guards. A lot of you have speculated that the Loomis twins are werewolves, given the name Loomis. It just kind of fits really well. So we're starting to see all of these little threads, and I think it's probably going to be a while before we see the bigger picture. I'm going to hold out hope that maybe Chetney is a werewolf. Maybe. Okay. I'm completely spitballing here. Maybe Chetney was sent to find Gurge because Gurge is a werewolf and Chetney has become a werewolf too, and he was sent there as like somebody who would help him out in the process of like learning how to be a werewolf. Because I felt like it was kind of suspicious that Chetney had been sent sort of across to another continent to look for work as a woodworker, when you would think in a big continent like Wildmount, he would be able to find somewhere to work on the continent and not necessarily have to travel continents. I think that's a fun idea. I don't know. Let me know. What do you think? We also learned that Chetney is from Uthadern, which is a place that we visited in Campaign 2. So it'll be really interesting to see if there are going to be any ties to characters or events from Campaign 2 and if we're ever going to end up there. I think those are kind of the main big moments that we had in today's episode. So now let's like dive into the YouTube comments of my last video to find out what your theories are. Firstly, I would like to thank everybody who informed me that the reason the new intro is set in the jungle is because the city that we're currently in, Drusar, is surrounded by jungle. So many of you commented. I don't know why, but I thought the city was surrounded by desert. That was what it looked like in my mind. I had a very clear picture of the city. I clearly did not listen in episode 1. Oh, embarrassing. So many of you in the comments believe that Chetney is not Travis's final character. A lot of you are very suspicious, and you know, I think rightfully so, that we're getting a reworking of a Christmas character right around Christmas time, and Travis is not doing anything to confirm or deny if Chetney is his main character. He recently updated his Twitter bio to say former barbarian, Hexadin, and current troll. Yes, Travis is having the best time trolling all of us. I don't blame him, he's clearly having a great time, but we want answers. Travis, please, put us out of our misery. Quite a few of you commented that Travis could potentially be cycling through older characters while we fill in this time period when we're going to meet his main character. However, I really think the fact that they trademarked Chetney's name and not any others, they didn't trademark Bertrand's, they haven't trademarked any others, I think that really shows that Chetney is sticking around for the long haul. Otherwise, why would they go through the process of trademarking the name? I think there was a lot of anticipation of what Travis's character was going to be, and Chetney is like very different from what any of us expected. So I can understand why some people are suspicious. Personally, I'm going to hold out that this is the character that we're getting for the entirety of the campaign, unless of course something happens, but who knows? I could be proved wrong. Anything is possible. Also, thank you to everybody who commented that I paid out my bet to Awaken too early. Don't worry, if it turns out that Travis is actually playing the Anger Awaken, you'll be hearing from me. There was a lot of chatter about Chetney's build, because when we looked at the stats that were introduced, and these are the stats that have been posted on Critical Role Wiki, we can see that Chetney actually has a really high AC and a really high strength. So it looks like Travis has built a strength-based rogue, which is really fun and interesting. I think we often think about rogues as being dex-based classes and, you know, stacking everything into dex. It's really fun to see a strength-based rogue, because you can still get sneak attack and all of that fun stuff if you use a strength weapon, because you can use a finesse weapon, which means you can essentially use either dex or strength. And, you know, weapons like daggers and short swords, they're finesse weapons. So we're going to see some strength-based sneak attack. And I imagine that Travis has reflavored standard weapons like short swords and things to be his chisels and woodworking tools. I also think we can't forget that it's likely that Chetney has some magic items, because we know that some other characters started the campaign with magic items. For example, the EXU characters, they brought the magic items that they had into this new campaign. So I think it's likely that Chetney has some kind of magic item that is either boosting his strength or his AC. We also still have a lot of questions about the attack in the alley of the wall mimic. So a lot of you hopefully pointed out that it seems like the stat block that was used was the spitting mimic from Rime of Frostmaiden, which I don't have a copy of, so I didn't know about that stat block. There are some theories that potentially the orbs that were embedded in the mimic were made of brunestone, and maybe that is kind of the connection that we're getting between all of these various happenings. This person has the theory that potentially whoever is behind these strange happenings is trying to weaponize or experiment with brunestone in some way. Duggar definitely felt like a weird creature that had been created through weird experimentation. We've got some evidence of strange things happening. For example, Imogen and Laudner said that the shade creepers that they fought were different to the normal ones. We still have the mystery of the animated furniture from episode 1. It's all connecting, it's all coming together. Giveaway time to celebrate the fact that we're almost at 5,000 subscribers on this channel, which is wild. Thank you so much everybody who has subscribed. I'm going to be doing a giveaway of a digital copy of the book Call of the Netherdeep, which is the new Critical Role adventure book coming out next year. It'll be a digital copy on D&D Beyond. I'll be drawing the winner of this giveaway when this video reaches 1,000 likes, so make sure you hit the thumbs up button so we can get to 1,000 likes. You also need to leave a comment below with the hashtag Chaos Crew, and that is how I will find the entries for drawing. Now, if the video reaches 2,000 likes, I will give away a second copy of the book. So share this video with your critter friends and get them to join the Tinfoil Hat Club, and it's going to be a good time. I'd like to give a shout out to my wonderful patrons and YouTube members who support me in making these videos. If you'd like to help me make these videos and also get exclusive behind the scenes content based on all the things that I'm doing, you can sign up on my Patreon, which there is a link in the description below, or you can also become a member right here on YouTube. I will be taking a week off next week from making videos, so if you are celebrating, I hope you have a wonderful festive season, and look out for a video from me in about 2 weeks' time. I'd like to leave you with this wisdom from Chetney. Come correct or get corrected. I'm 100% sure I'm going to get corrected in the comments of this video for stuff that I said wrong. That's it for me this week, and I'll see you next time. Bye!